See if I can. Oh, now it's starting back again. So I wonder if it just got rid of it. Yeah. Okay, well, it may be starting over again, which is fine. Or it may have split it up into 2 separate recordings, which is also fine. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. Good, I'm glad you're being patient with me. Okay, so let's take a look at step 3. Now, to figure out your financial position, okay, you take what you own, okay, and subtract what you owe. And that will tell you, actually, what your financial position is going to be, okay? So we basically take our assets, which I'm going to call A, all right? We subtract our liabilities, and then we get what's called our financial position, or in other words, our personal net worth, or equity, or you can also call it capital. Okay? So there's 100 million ways of calling it that, but it's the same thing. Basically, you take what you own minus what you owe, and that's what you are personally worth. Okay? So question number 2. Go back here. Okay. Define an asset. So an asset is something that is owned. And then number 3 was define a liability. A liability is a debt. Number 4 is define owner's equity. Okay, and we kind of talked about that. But owner's equity is the difference between total assets and total liabilities. Okay, and number 5, what is another term that means the same as equity? So we kind of just addressed that. But capital or net worth or personal net worth. So if we're talking about a company, we usually actually refer to it as capital. Okay, if we're talking about an individual like myself, I would refer to my personal capital as my personal net worth. Okay, and when you hear about it in the news and you hear about people who are worth a lot of money like Bill Gates or something, you'll hear it called personal net worth. Okay, so you'll hear that he has the largest net worth in the world or whatever. And then number 6, give 2 forms of the fundamental accounting equation. So I kind of showed it to you already. I didn't show you the short form of, okay. So there you go. So it's assets minus liabilities equals owner's equity. Okay? So you can see it like that, or okay? So that's the short form. That is called the fundamental accounting equation. And that is, you're going to have to memorize that accounting equation throughout this, basically throughout accounting. You use it all the time. Okay? So it'll come in handy, especially when we start looking at transactions and knowing that whatever transaction is affecting our business, this always has to be true. Always, 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 always. So we use a lot of algebra in accounting. Those of you who enjoy algebra will enjoy accounting. Calculus we don't use very often. We certainly don't use it in 11 and 12. But algebra is one of the things that we basically sometimes will ask you things like solve for A or solve for OE or whatever like that. Yeah?
Does it ask us, like, if you want to go to university, would it be like you have to do calculus?
Yeah.
You do? Calculus?
Yeah. Usually calculus is a required course for most business courses of study. However, if you do take sort of like a diploma, like a 2-year thing, they may not require that you do calculus. I'm not sure. But definitely for the university levels, you take like a business math, which requires some calculus. I think I mentioned to someone the other day, maybe it was the other class, how well I did in my calculus, which was not well at all. I think I got a D in pre-calculus, and then I ended up having to take it again, got a C minus. Not really, no. No.
Pre-calculus? Does that mean?
You have to take it as a weeder course, what they call a weeder course. But no, yeah, it's not. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.